Okay, this is a video about how there's this media narrative going on right now that, oh, LeBron James has an issue with Dan Gilbert because Dan Gilbert supports Trump and Trump is a racist and blah, blah, blah. It's all freaking nonsense. Uh, yeah. The point I was going to make is LeBron has ruined the Cavs because he hand installed his own head coach, Ty Lue, who sucks. And Ty Lue, as I've repeatedly made videos, is what's ruining the Cavs. We don't have any coaching. We don't have any discipline. We don't have any system. Look at the good coach teams in the league. They're Brad Stevens in Boston, Popovich with the Spurs, Kerr with the Warriors. Cavs are we considered a great coach team? Absolutely not. All we are is iso ball, and we're garbage as far as coaching. And going back to Kyrie Irving, he's supposed to be leaving. Well, there's tension between him and LeBron, this, that, and the other. Where's the coach? Where's the man who's supposed to be steering the ship? So, and we saw over the last year, we had a good playoff run somehow, but up to the finals, but we went 500 over the last half of the regular season. That's going to continue into this year, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's going to be a very lackluster to disastrous season, most likely. Now, I could, and I hope I'm wrong, and, we have a wildly successful season and win the title. But it's most likely not going to happen. All the trends are very unfavorable for us. Are we even favored over Boston to win the East this year that much? I don't know. With that, regardless of what you want to say, we're probably still better than Boston in theory, but I don't know with Coach Lue if we are. And plus, look, they're the same team, but they actually improved greatly. They added Jason Tatum, and they added Gordon Hayward, two big pieces. Is it enough? I don't know, but they made basically, I know they lost somebody. Did they lose Avery Bradley? They lost somebody. I forget who they lost to get those players, but basically they kept their core that was already second best in the East and added two pretty solid, two pretty big talents in Hayward and Jason Tatum. Cavs, we haven't added anything pending the whole Kyrie Irving deal, which is just as likely to decrease our talent level as increase it, And so yeah, Boston's on the come. We're coming down. It's not looking good at all. There's no sense of positivity about this Cleveland Cavs team. It's a team in disarray. And who's responsible for that? It's LeBron James mostly. He put the bad coach in. He hated Blatt. He doesn't want to be. He wants to run the team. He doesn't. There's no structure in Cleveland. There's no strong organization. Look at the last place he had. The only place of his career he had a good organization. That was Miami, where he had structure and discipline and an organization. He had Pat Riley at the top, and right down to I think he's an overrated coach, but he's still a decent coach, which is the best thing LeBron has ever had. One thing people never point out about LeBron, it's because there's so much anti-LeBron bias, and I'm a big LeBron fanboy, even though I'm sitting here criticizing the heck out of him. But if you don't know my thing, I'm a LeBron guy. Okay, I was a Heat fan when he, I think he's the best basketball player ever to lace up shoes. I think he's a physical specimen, the likes of which the NBA has never seen. So I've always been a LeBron guy, and I follow him from team to team, which I think, people give me, oh, you're bandwagon hopping. No, it's the epitome of the reverse of bandwagon hopping. I'm liking a certain player, as opposed to being dumb and rooting for uniforms. And I get the rooting for uniforms thing. I do it too with like the Dallas Cowboys, let's say. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, because I'm near here. And I always have been since I was a little kid, so that's a little different. But still, I get in a certain sense, you could say I just root for the laundry, as famous Seinfeld line, in the case of the Cowboys. Which I would disagree with because I've just been a Cowboy fan for so long. It's from such a young age, but it's where near where I live, so it's understandable to. And I get, like I said, I'm not really criticizing rooting for the laundry, so to speak, or rooting just for the uniform, so to speak. Just this is my team, and I root for whoever's. I get that, and I do that too. My point is, in this case, it's different. In the NBA, I root first for LeBron, And I also kind of like the Boston Celtics because when I was a kid, I used to watch the Celtics-Lakers finals, and I was a big Celtics guy. Loved the Celtics. And I'm also somewhat of a Mavs fan because they're the local team, So you can have more than one team that you like as well. And hell, every playoffs, every playoffs you may have a team you start following, or I like this team because they're hot and they got this shooter. You got to do that to keep sports interesting. If you only care about one team ever, what are you going to do the rest of the time? I guess a lot of people can watch games without caring who wins, and there are games that I don't care who wins, but generally I'm rooting for one team or another for, even if it's just for that one game, But this is all getting way off track. The point was LeBron James has ruined the Cavs by installing Ty Lue. I've been beating this drum for 2-3, since it happened. And like I said, LeBron is the face and really the person who runs the Cavs, no matter what anybody's, people love to say that. But they're not going to say LeBron ruined the Cavs, now that the Cavs are heading for a season of disarray, most likely. And they're already probably in disarray, really, as of the second half of the regular season last year. There's no discipline, there's no structure, there's no coaching. And, so people are going to, I've seen this media narrative, and of course the media hates Trump because they're all left-wing nuts. And so, I've just noticed this little narrative of, LeBron's mad at Dan Gilbert because Dan Gilbert is a Trump guy, supposedly. I haven't really seen much evidence for that other than he donated to Trump's inauguration. Not his campaign, his inauguration, which I guess does kind of imply support. I'll give you that. But it's not like Gilbert is out there all the time, I love Donald Trump, like all these other people are out there saying they love Obama all the time, so that's okay. But Gilbert can't say he likes Trump, no. But anyway, so yeah, LeBron ruined the Cavs, and he doesn't have any structure, he doesn't have any discipline. That's why I'm thinking of where he could go. I think Miami's a dark horse. Why do I say that? Because I think the Lakers would be great, and I think that's the most likely. And if you end up there with Brandon Ingram, if Lonzo Ball turns out to be good, indications are he's looking good in Summer League, or he did look good. So, if you have a core of Brandon Ingram, say he takes a step up, that's contingent on him taking a step up, and Lonzo Ball, and who else we got over there? Who am I missing? And let's say they sign Paul George and LeBron. So you'll have 4, stars, but you'll be in the West is the problem there. Then all of a sudden you're dealing with Houston, you're dealing with Golden State, you're dealing with Oklahoma City even, with George now. There's 4 studly teams in the West right now. Oklahoma City, Houston, San Antonio, and Golden State. The whole conference is much deeper than the East. Although that's sometimes overblown, But now that, you had Paul George go to, where did he go? Not Houston, he went to, OKC, and Chris Paul went to, now that you had those moves, went to Houston that already won 58 games last year and is really revving on D'Antoni's system. D'Antoni was always there, even though they didn't significantly upgrade their talent. And so you probably have to assume that they're just not talented enough. And then, Golden State, what can you say about that? So, yeah, are they going to, in the West, you could say that the real competition is Golden State. So you're going to face Golden State anyway. It doesn't matter to me whether you face them in the West playoffs or the finals. But, in the West, you're probably going to have other tough series. You're going to have to get through some of those other tough teams, whereas in the East, in theory, I think this is also overblown, but in theory, you're only tough, Boston's getting tougher and tougher, but in theory, in the East, you don't have any tough series, and you just cruise to the finals. In the West, it's not going to be that way. So that's the drawback I see with him going to the West, but if the problem with Miami is they just don't seem to have the talent. I'm not going to say I'm the biggest expert on all the goings on in the NBA and who they have and who they can get and whatever. But there's not really, the only stud they have I can think of is Hassan Whiteside. They don't have, maybe you could pull off a Dwayne Wade reunion, but how old is Dwayne Wade nowadays? 37 or something. You really can't count on him, So, even if he came back to Miami, say, let's say LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Hassan Whiteside, some type of big three there. That's not much of a big three. Dwayne Wade is too old to be in a big three. And so you're going to have LeBron and Hassan, and I don't know if that's enough to get them. But the point here is that I could see him going back to Miami because there's structure there. There's a coach. There's an organization. A stronger coach and organization that can tell LeBron what to do to an extent. And he doesn't like that anymore, which is why he's ruining all the teams he's going to, and he's limiting his own titles. I should have said this earlier in the video, but that's what he's doing with this nonsense. He's limiting his own titles. He's got 3, and it's not looking good that he's ever gonna win another one, frankly. That's his own doing, He fired any kind of good coach in Cleveland. And he brought in his guy, Ty Lue, and now the team has already had one season where they didn't win a title under Ty Lue, and now they're coming up another season where they're likely going to be in complete disarray, and it's going to be a situation where, you've got Kyrie and LeBron fighting, and is Kyrie going to be there? And, and you're going to have a situation in Cleveland where I think after this year, there's going to be no choice for LeBron to leave, and the media is going to make it act like, oh, it's because Dan Gilbert likes Trump or whatever they want to say. But the fact is LeBron made Cleveland a dumpster fire with his moves and his refusal to play for Blatt, his refusal to accept any structure or organization or discipline from the coach. And so he wanted to put in basically a puppet in Ty Lue. And, look where like I said, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope next year we win the title. But more than likely, this year is shaping up more and more, this upcoming season, to be a dumpster fire in Cleveland. And I'm going to sit here and say I'm on the one that's going to say this could go bad fast. I mean, what if Cleveland starts out 10-15, 10-18, something, you just couldn't imagine could happen? I'm here to tell you, it sounds impossible. It probably, what if we even start, let's say, 10-12? It's going to be ugly, and I'm here to say that that's a possibility in my opinion. That's a real possibility. I think this season is going to get uglier quicker. And, what's going to happen then? I don't even know what's going on with the Kyrie situation. Let's say we haven't traded Kyrie and we start 10-12 because of Lue's pathetic coaching, non-coaching. It's going to be like a dumpster fire, It's going to be, you got to get Kyrie, him and LeBron don't want to play together, and that's why Cleveland sucks, and, then it's going to be it's going to be a disaster, and it's going to be, fire sale on Kyrie, and I'm probably going to, that's, I guess, the point of this video. I need to talk about Kyrie and what you do with the Kyrie trade. I may do that next. But yeah, that's my thoughts on LeBron. It's his fault, and I don't know where he's going, but it's looking like he ruined Cleveland, and Cleveland's going to be a disaster this upcoming season. So he's not going to be able to come back to Cleveland. He's closing that avenue for himself because there's going to be a dumpster fire, So I just think that's funny that he's ruining the Cleveland, and especially like the media trying to, it's because Dan Gilbert likes Trump. No, it's because LeBron James is slowly making the franchise a directionless dumpster fire, And don't put this on Gilbert. He's part of it, sure. But, he didn't make Ty Lue the coach. LeBron did, more or less. I don't care what you say. And that's the number one problem with the Cavs. Along with that, LeBron doesn't want to accept any discipline or coaching. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. LeBron is forcing himself out of Cleveland. Don't blame it on anybody else. Don't blame this dumpster fire on anybody but LeBron. And this is coming from the biggest LeBron fanboy. As a talented player, but I can understand that as a person, he has his issues. So yeah, that's my video.